Disneyland Dining review time. Hey everybody, it's Wade for the Kingdom Report. Shuffling on over with you once again to cover all the latest eats, treats, and dining delights at Disneyland Resort. Yep, and we are starting here today at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, the most luxurious of all of the hotel properties at the Disneyland Resort. If you haven't been here in a while, it is a wonderful place to be at. Not just because the rooms are not filled to capacity, the hotel is not completely packed. In fact, it is a manageable and, dare I say, very pleasantly quiet experience here at this hotel. So you get to enjoy it and all of the amenities that come along with it, including the glorious lobby. From the front doors, you would walk through the lobby itself, and you want to pass the elevators on your left as well as the Acorn store on your left. You'll walk out the back sliding doors into the outdoor area once again in order to access the restaurant we are going to today. And of course, that restaurant is right down this corridor outside. So it seems like a long hallway. It seems like a long walk. I promise it's not. In just a matter of time, you are here at Storytellers Cafe. A great place to sort of measure if you've gone too far is the pool. If you see the pool to your right, you will know automatically that lines up directly with the front doors of Storytellers Cafe. So as soon as you see the pool, stop, and you will see Storytellers Cafe on your left, and you'll walk right in to check in for your dining reservation. Now, you can check in via your Disneyland app like I did. Not necessarily sure what happened here this morning, but there were some issues with the app. There were also some issues with the computer stand where the hosts are, and so there's a lot of confusion about who checked in when and who needed to be sat. About 25 minutes is what it took to figure this all out and get names called, and eventually I was sat at my table. This restaurant in general, Storytellers Cafe, is beautiful, immaculate, and so much detail was put into making this place feel special, and it does. In every corner of this restaurant, there is something to look at and admire. You've got the fireplaces in the middle of the dining rooms. I mean, this really does have that homey and perfect feel to it. The table did have a QR code ready for me to scan so that I could figure out what was on the menu. However, I didn't need to worry about it because even though this restaurant reopened in late May with a non-buffet breakfast, it was something that just came back. So the buffet has returned officially with the Mickey's Tales of Adventure breakfast. So we are thrilled to see that this buffet has returned with all the baked goods. Can you even believe how many cinnamon rolls and danishes we have in front of us here? I mean, I can't. Then you've got the assorted muffins, all of the goodies that you could possibly want here, along with your croissants. Don't make me drop it. I don't want to drop my croissant. But there you got all your baked goods. Moving right along to these bagged beverages, these bagged juices. Kind of, I think, going along the lines of the fact that this is supposed to be, Tales of Adventure, almost like a day camp. So I thought that was a really cute touch. You could also grab your milk bags and apply those to your cereals. If you were a kid who wanted a little bit more adventure, go ahead, grab your bag, grab your cereals, and enjoy. There's also, of course, the staples of every breakfast experience. You got your scrambled eggs here, along with that beautiful egg white frittata with tomato, spinach, and basil. Oh my goodness, how delicious. This sold me, though. That's right, the Eggs Benedict. I was thrilled to see that. The chilaquiles right here, both of these spoke to me, and I knew I needed to have some on my plate. And then this was kind of cool, the breakfast potatoes with the Impossible meat mixed in. So I wanted to grab some of that. I've had some great luck with the Impossible meat lately at the resort. It's been some of the best stuff on the menu. And then you see some French toast there, bit of a raspberry, strawberry marmalade on top, which I thought was delicious. Got your pancakes and, of course, your Mickey waffles. I mean, you can't have a breakfast buffet at Disney without a Mickey waffle, am I right? Yeah, that's of course a staple of the experience too. Wanted to grab some bacon alongside the sausage here because every morning deserves some bacon, if I do say so myself. Down here at the other end of the buffet, you do need to get your own syrup, so there is a syrup canister here in which to pour. Carving station was not quite set up yet, but that is still to come. The charcuterie board that they had laid out here was pretty minimal, pretty basic by any standard. Next to that, fresh fruit for you, all the fresh fruits, as a matter of fact, all laid out perfectly for you to grab at your liking. And then right alongside that were some very interesting bagels along with some smoked salmon. So I thought that was an interesting touch as well, a nice sort of creative dish to add on. And then the characters arrived. Hey, gang! It has been far too long since I've seen characters in a dining establishment at the Disneyland Resort, and that was a pleasant surprise to say the least. Here we see my full plate with my waffles, my Danish, my eggs Benny, my bacon, my impossible meat potatoes, as well as my chilaquiles here, and I wanted to dive in right away. I did so. I always like to point out if the bacon at a Disney restaurant is either paper thin, which sometimes you get, or if it's the good quality stuff. Storytellers has the good quality stuff, thick, crispy, and perfect. I loved the bacon here. One thing that sort of disappointed me was the Eggs Benedict. This was something I was truly amped up for. It didn't ooze out. The yolk was already solidified. That to me means it was sitting a little too long. That was a disappointment. I did get another one a little bit later on just to see if it made a difference. Unfortunately, that had solidified too. I know it's luck of the draw sometimes, but I was here pretty early, and this was the first batch of food. I was so hopeful. Anyway, you take a look around here, and the characters, they just never stop. I mean, they parade around, and they just keep dancing. They keep moving. They'll sort of slow down if you're trying to take photos of them, I noticed. But for the most part, they just do not stop dancing. It is an entire conga line of fun. They continue moving to their music, and it's a very lively environment. And like I said, it's wonderful to see them. They get fairly close to you. They just don't stop for you. So something to keep in mind if you are truly looking for that one-on-one huggable interaction. It's not available right now. I did order an omelet through my server. He also said I could get a parfait through him, and he brought me my spinach, my cheese, my onions, my mushroom omelet here. This was cooked to perfection, packed full of cheese just the way I like it. The omelet was so good, and I would order this again. So custom made to order omelets for you. I did grab my bag of watermelon juice just to try it out. The only problem I see with this is that the straw is made of paper, like so many straws are now at Disney. And when they sit out for a little too long, it kind of gets soggy and dissolves in the bag. So that's kind of a problem, but the juice was great, so keep that in mind. On top of that, I wanted to mention that with the characters, I did witness at one point a child run over to stop Pluto, and she really wanted to get a photo with him, and she didn't really understand why he wasn't stopping, and there was nobody there to stop her. And you kind of see her running up there, and a little bit later on here in just a couple minutes, she runs up and hugs him, and I wanted to see how that was being handled. One of the character hosts came over and explained to her very gently that, you know, all their character friends, they need to keep moving, but they're happy to take pictures with you. They just need to stand a few feet away as they keep moving table by table. So they handled it really well. I would just say that if you're bringing kids that don't really understand why, and you don't want to explain to them why the characters can't stop and hug you at the moment, then you may want to consider going to breakfast somewhere else, just because it does create kind of an awkward situation. Like I said, character hosts handled it fine. Characters were fantastic with the child. It's just something that I know is a little uncomfortable to deal with at the moment. So something to keep in mind. The carving station finally showed up. I got my ham, and I got my second round here of my plate. You'll see my fresh fruit along with my chocolate croissant, and then some of that French toast. This French toast turned out to be one of my favorite things on the buffet, and I think it's mainly because it was like a brioche French toast, along with all of the goodness that the glaze offered up. Threw on some whipped cream there too, but very crispy French toast, and ended up being the standout, I think, of all the things that I ended up getting on the buffet. Next to my omelet that I personally ordered, of course. The carved ham here ended up being fantastic also. mildly sweet with that perfect amount of savory. So the ham, and they gave me plenty of it, which was great. Ended up being a very nice accompaniment to my plate. Wanted a little bit more protein. There was an awful lot of carbs on this buffet, so it was certainly nice to have. You'll notice that the characters, as I've mentioned before, they really never stop moving, and so it's kind of hard to take photos of them, because even when you kind of frame them up with your camera, they just keep dancing even in one spot, and so it's very hard to get a photo where it's not motion blurred. So that is one sort of setback that I mentioned here, that you can kind of expect that they're not going to fully stop for you. In no time, the price tag had arrived. Yes, my check presenter had shown up, and I do have to say, this price tag for breakfast can be a little steep. So ultimately, $49 for adults, $29 for kids. In the end, the amount due with tax was $52.80, and that was before tip. So $52.80 for one adult. Something to definitely think about if you are looking to have a character dining experience. Currently, this is the only one for a little while. Plaza Inn is set to return in the near future with their characters. And then also on top of that, as I'd mentioned, just the characters in general, they do appear 3 times, it seemed, within an hour. So I sat there for about an hour. They showed up shortly after I was sat. They do continue moving with the music, and there's just this whole sort of party atmosphere that's going on. Like I said, when they don't stop, it is kind of hard to get that perfect photo. They will pause long enough for you to try and capture them behind you, but for the most part, it can be very challenging. The food, pretty decent. Is it worth $50? That mixed in with the character interactions that don't stop, it's a hard thing to sell me on at this point. Now that I've experienced it, I would say maybe wait until the characters can stop and give you that individual attention again. It might be worth it then. But as far as the food goes, I've always liked Goofy's Kitchen selection a lot more. The character dining at the Disneyland Hotel, they offer just so much more. However, this particular restaurant, Storytellers Cafe, an amazingly well-appointed restaurant, absolutely beautiful atmosphere. I mean, look at the carpet, look at all the detail. This place really does stand out as one of those that shines beyond any other restaurant in terms of beauty. Well, that's my review. I hope you had fun, and I do encourage you that if you are looking to take your kids to character dining, check out Storytellers. I think it's definitely worth stopping by if you need that character interaction, if you want that character dining experience. I'm not saying don't go, just saying these were the challenges I experienced on my visit, and I did enjoy myself, and it was wonderful to see the characters again. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another Eat Disney Dining Review.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.